Today, we are going to discuss a topic I titled The Voice of a Man. The voice of a man. You know, in Africa, we have a general understanding that a woman doesn't train a child. And the reason is because we understand that a child easily conforms to the voice of a man. So we know that a child needs the voice of a man in the house to be able to mold the child into disciplined shape of character. What then is this voice of a man? The voice of a man is the vocal sound of authority that comes out from the mouth of the man anytime he's speaking. The voice of a man is the sound of dominion, the sound of ownership, the sound of command that comes out from the mouth of a man anytime he's speaking. And so for a man to function in excellent leadership, the first thing the man must learn to activate is the voice of a man in him. And that is why anytime you find yourself in the military setting or in the army, you discover anytime a military commander is talking to his junior staff, he's speaking to them in the voice of command, in the voice of a command. Give it to me. Stand up. Where are you coming from? And he knows that for me to be able to lead, this voice of a man must be activated. The problem we have today in Africa is that young men have lost the voice of a man in their family. And so you discover when a man wants to talk to a young lady, the man begins to find a better way of changing the tone of his voice to be able to sound in a more polite way. He called it a romantic voice. And so when the man approaches a woman he wants to marry or want to speak to his wife, he begins to speak, "Hello baby, how are you doing? You are too beautiful." Unfortunately, this type of a voice is too sweet to the girl. But that is the voice that will actually destroy your ability to lead. Because a woman only submits to a man of authority. When there is no authority in your voice, the things you are speaking will be as if you are begging in your own house. So for a man to lead, the first thing the man must activate is the voice of authority in him. So when a man is speaking to his wife, the man knows a lion, a owner of a territory, is giving command. But when that tone you think is romantic voice, is a voice that was actually introduced by the Western men to turn men into a woman, so that men will now be begging for things in the house of their wife. Then they called it socialization and civilization. No, you are not civilized. You are just a man who have lost the power of your leadership. That power is the voice of a man. And so you discover you no longer have control over your wife. Because when you want to speak with your wife, you are now speaking as a man who is afraid. You change a new voice. If you want to understand what I'm saying, go back to the voice notes you have sent to your wife or your girlfriend few days ago. You discover anytime you want to speak with her, you change a new tone. You say it's romantic voice. You don't know this voice you are speaking is that voice will destroy your leadership. Because a woman only submit to a man. She found command, authority, and dominance in his sound of his voice. It was actually given to us by nature for the purpose of administering leadership. Now you have decided to throw the voice away and then embark a new voice you call the romantic voice. And so whenever you are talking to a young lady, you have just degraded all your potential of leadership even from your voice. My dear, where is the voice of a man in you? And so the same way it comes in the family, beyond the wife. What about the children? The children can only submit to a man they found authority in his voice. The children can only submit to a man they found decisive leadership and command in his voice. It was Dr. Amoke who was writing a few years ago. Amoke says, a crippled man is better than Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. And Amoke began to give his reason. He says it's because if Okonjo-Iweala is here and he's shouting to a 15-year-old boy, the 15-year-old boy might continue to misbehave, knowing fully well that the voice is coming from a shouting young woman. But when a crippled man sits here and shout and roar, we don't shout. The young boy will run away because he knows this one have authority in his voice. The question is, where is the authority in your voice as a father? When you are speaking to your father, to your children, do they find authority in your voice? It transcends to the power of you ruling your family. The problem we have today is that people are afraid to marry the children of the daughters of single mothers because they know the daughters of single mothers grow up without hearing the voice of a man in the family. The question is, you that is a man who have children going under you, are the children equally hearing the voice of a man in your own compound? Or is it that when the children look around, even though you are there as the man, but there is no voice of the man in the compound, everything you are speaking is where is it's not shouting, it's the voice of authority. Where is your voice of leadership again? This transcends even beyond the family. The way you relate with people in the company, when your manager is interviewing you, he's taking the voice of confidence you have in you. When you hear men like Nnamdi Kanu speaking on the media, you see them, they are roaring. These ones understand the principle of the voice of authority. When you see Idi Amin is speaking and he's roaring. He knows he's speaking to... Watch how men who understand the principle of authority speak. When you see Lumumba, P.O. Lumumba speaking, voice of authority comes. You have lost that voice because they begin to teach you how to be romantic. And so when time you want to talk to a girl, your intonation change. Your intonation change. You begin. We all did this thing. We are once a victim. But the reason why you met Light of Africa is because we want to reinstitute man into you. And for manhood to come into you, we want to bring leadership back to you. And the man who will come back to lead is a man who have learned to restore the voice of his leadership given to him by nature. You threw it away and come out and said you are romantic. How many years? I'd like to come here in a woman doesn't submit to a man who speaks in that tune. It's not shouting. There must be a royal way of commanding your voice. When you are speaking like a owner of the house. Because in that romantic voice, you are speaking like a beggar. And the beggar will always be treated as an option. They will choose whether to take what you said or not. So the power of you to actually lead in your own house starts when you begin to gain the voice of a man. Sometimes you can gain the voice and look out face to face and say, don't go out of this house. Don't step outside this house today. It's the voice of a man to control a woman. When that voice is not in you, you are a baby. That's the origin of a baby. When a woman finishes looking at you, the way you even sound when you want to talk to her, hey, please now, don't do. The woman begin to call you baby. You think it's an appreciation name. It's because you love. Why did she not call her pastor baby? If baby is a very sweet name. If baby is a very big sweet name, why is she not calling the CEO in the company she's working baby? It's because she found those men authoritative and submits under them. But when she come back in your own house, the little boy in the house who have lost the power of being a man, she calls you a baby. That means a little boy I'm carrying, a baby. Where is your man, your voice of manhood again? That's why when you come to my WhatsApp group, I will choose love out of you. So that you can lead again. When you are speaking, men know you are speaking. That's why we have mentored men who doesn't even understand what it means to be man again. They don't even understand that there is a gap between a man and the woman. Today you see a man dancing and before you know the man begin to twerk. Begin to shake his waist. And you are asking, is this guy a human being? Is this guy mad? The guy says his socialization is civilization. Are you mad? You have finished working with a woman. Tomorrow you come back and start shouting that your wife is not submitting under you. How can a woman submit before her fellow woman? A woman only submit to a man. Where is the man in you? I rise up to this afternoon to reinstitute your voice. This voice is what your children is trusting on as people who have a father to control their family. Even the boys you have that are serving you, they need this voice to respect you. You know, there are some boys, when they are coming to their shop, the boys that are serving them knows, yes, sir, a man is coming. When you speak, they can dictate the power of authority from your voice. The question becomes, can that voice transcend down to your family? Or is it when you want to talk to a girl, the voice die? That means you're not a human being. You are an ekuke. Rise up with me, let's build back your voice of man. So when you speak, you are roaring. We don't shout, we roar. You roar. That's the power of leadership. That's the power of an African man. So they cook you and put you in a feminine Western institution in a church. And so you see a man come to sing on church on the Sunday, and he begin to sing with the voice of a woman. Lord, you are the most high. They say that guy have a nice voice. You are a madman. In our culture, men sing bars. There is bars in our voice. That's the power of leadership. Where is yours? The voice of a man. Your children need this voice to be able to know they have a father. Your wife needs this voice to respect you and come under your leadership. Rise up with me and activate your voice of leadership for the purpose of African Renaissance, where men take the lead and women come under the control. Thank you so much.